Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian, and I welcome you, one and all, to Out of the Park Baseball 21 as the Baltimore Orioles. Now, when I started this challenge, I said I needed to win 3 World Series and have a player I developed go to the Hall of Fame. We can make one of those things happen this year, I think. I don't think we're going to have any of our players make the Hall of Fame this year because none of my players that I developed have retired yet. So we're probably going to be playing this probably around roughly 15 seasons. I think is the likeliest scenario. Last episode, our big Daniel Cron is thinking about his new contract, isn't he? He hasn't actually signed it yet. We've got our lineup set. I still really struggle with building this lineup because I just don't have a stereotypical leadoff guy. I don't love Luis Garcia as a leadoff hitter, but I just don't have a better option right now. Someone had pointed out a couple of weeks ago that I really should have kept Graffinino, and I'm kind of thinking that might have been somewhat smart. But we're going to find out what happens, and hopefully it's good things. Right. Yeah. Let's do it. On to the next month. I mean, Jack Leiter lost on opening day, so as far as I'm concerned, the season's already dead to me. You're not allowed to let Jack Leiter lose a game. That's forbidden. Some player development. Oscar Perez got a little bit better. Wyatt Mills. He's starting to lose his velocity, but what matters the most is I've got a team option. So if it turns out he does suck, I can just get rid of him. Megastar Billy Cabrera is now in our minor league team, which is pretty exciting. Give me a scouting report. Now, how can Jack Leiter have been betrayed like this? How did Jack Leiter's not pitched yet. That's the problem. What the hell? Oh no. Oh no. He's close to offended. Oh, my dude. My dude. You know what? This is my fault. I named the last episode giving Corona Jr. a new contract, and now he won't sign a new contract. It's my fault. I take that. And yeah, I think the ultimate problem is going to be he wants to get paid, and I accept that, but I can't give him what he wants. I cannot give you $10 million. I can give you $5 million. And if that's what you want, that's what you want. And I'm totally good with that. But this is the best I can do. And if you take this deal, I will be over the bloody moon. But yeah, I cannot give you the money you want. So we'll see if he takes it now. If it's more palatable to him. Who are you? How did I acquire you? Oh, Rule 5 draft. Got it. You can go to AAA. That works. Next month. I don't know when Wyatt Mills is going to come back. It's a sprained ankle. You don't pitch with your ankle. Quit your whining. Okay. This is honestly actually a better contract for us. It's a nice short-term contract. Only carries us through to his 29 season. And yeah, he's got an opt-out, which he'll probably take. But then I can just offer him arbitration and get a draft pick for him. So I'm actually pretty happy with that deal. The $1 million question is going to be the Austin Hendrick problem. Because, did I sign him to a new deal yet? I don't think I did. Yeah. He's the next guy who's going to want to get paid. Or Brandon Hendricks. And I can't afford to pay them both. And if I can't afford to pay them both, yeah, I need payroll relief. I need it real bad. But I don't know how to get it either. Is the problem. Because our problem is we have a lot of money spread around a lot of players. Like, there's obviously... Look, in hindsight, Oscar Pierrette is overpaid. I don't think anyone would dispute that. But as long as he's healthy, I have to keep him. I can't afford to get rid of a pitcher right now. So even if I opt out of both Wyatt Mills and Ryan Mountcastle seasons, that gives me $12 million. That might be enough to keep Hendricks and Hendrick. But if I could get Hendricks to sign a new deal now, I think it would probably be decent if he'd agree to it. But he probably just wants a 1-year deal. I've got $5 million for extensions right now because of Corona. Not quite $5 million. And I'm tired of getting suckered into these long-term contracts for players that aren't that good. I'm not going to sign Hendrick until he proves that he can handle it. It just has to be how I am. I have to be deliberate with what I do with my money. Because Rushman's going to be knocking on the door any minute now. Y Mills is back. I wouldn't mind sending Vizcaíno down, but I don't want to lose him. Then again, he's not very good this season. Maybe I wouldn't be amiss to try to get him through waivers. No, it's going to be Casey Schmidt, isn't it? Like, I know Schmidt's doing okay this season, but in terms of pure ability... What if I trade him? Here's the thing about Casey Schmidt. He has been useful. But I think he's honestly doesn't have a hugely bright future with the Orioles. And look, if I can trade him and get a decent prospect in return, I think it's worth it. I'm just going to kick the tires on it. I only want prospects, though. I'm either going to get bad offers or no offers, most likely. But maybe I get Victor Juarez, who's actually a pretty good pitcher, but also involves me taking on salary. And I'm kind of not okay with that, but this is genuinely a flat upgrade. It's a flat upgrade over Casey Schmidt, but it is also more money. And I'd rather just try to get Schmidt through waivers and put him in the minors. And then I can activate Wyatt Mills. Because what am I trying to accomplish with Wyatt Mills here? I'm trying to see how much he's got left so that I can make a determination on if I can trade him at the deadline and pick up a prospect or two. Brandon Hendricks, you can probably have your pitch count removed next season. Yeah, our entire rotation, except for Meyer and Leiter, is pitching badly. If I asked you politely to pitch better, I wonder if that would work. I suspect it wouldn't. And then Casey Schmidt did clear waivers, so you can go to AAA, and I'm going to take you off waivers. Okay. Syndergaard. Really, neither of you are pitching very well. I think I'm going to try to trade shit. See, here's the thing for me. Little still has a chance to be a really good pitcher because this curveball is right here. And if he develops it, he could be a fairly okay frontline starter. Oh, but here's the other rub, though. Luke Little has options. Meyer doesn't. And I can't afford to throw away pitching. So I'm going to send you to AAA, and I'm going to call up Syndergaard. And then Noah, my dude, go ahead and slide into the 4th spot there. Maybe you can give our rotation some stabilization. Adley Rushman is going to be an interesting decision that we're going to have to make in the next couple of seasons. I wonder if I should maybe check the minors and see if there's some interesting players we might consider trading. Yeah, Mills is decaying quickly. We kind of expected that, though, when we signed a player of his age. It's not a huge shock to me. You've been in the minors forever, my dude. How did I acquire you? It says I drafted you, but that seems like a lie to me. Oh, it's my league. Okay. Okay. How are you in AA? You're good enough to play in the majors, I think. Maybe not for the Rangers. Maybe the Rangers have a really good solution at center field. All right. We need infielders. But we also just need just raw prospects, I think, is the thing that we need the most. We're also going to need to replace Mountcastle. We need to look for the future Ryan Mountcastle, and maybe Nate Gould is that answer. He is a pretty solid all-around hitter. I'd like to get him some reps at AAA before I promote him, but I don't know if Mountcastle is going to give me that choice. Yeah, I think we just need more prospects. We just need more of them at every position. Now, one of the most interesting possibilities would be to trade like Benedict. Because here's what Benedict has going for him. He's a switch hitter, which is very nice. He's got decent power, and he's a really good right fielder with tremendous speed. And all this sounds like a really good package. But there's one major issue with him, which is that he doesn't hit for contact and that he doesn't really draw walks. In the minors, the best he's ever hit is 268, sorry. That is deeply problematic. And he doesn't have the other tools, necessarily, to make him an interesting player to keep. The option, of course, is Calvera Clark, but he's the only elite power prospect I've got in the minors. You've kind of got me over a barrel in a way that the other guy doesn't. You've also have a bit more of a track record hitting in the minors. So what we're going to do, I think, is we're going to try to trade Benedict. I think Benedict is the kind of piece that other teams would find very attractive, but it doesn't seem like a great fit for the Baltimore Orioles. Or Kieran Dongo is another player we might trade. Although I like Kieran Dongo's overall offensive profile, and I think he actually has a chance to be a pretty solid outfielder. I just don't see him. I mean, I guess the other issue we have to consider is, are we going to be keeping Hendrick? Oh man, Cabrera, you've kind of tanked a bit. What's happened? Your overall is still crazy high. Your eye is still great. Your contact is dipping. Your power is flattening. Was he always not a great gap power hitter? I thought he used to be pretty good at that at one point. Maybe not. Now we are reaching the point where, unfortunately, he's probably not going to be worth his contract. But we have to give him time. He could very easily turn it around. He's maybe just having a rough start to the season. And, yeah. Fabian is still loaded with potential. He just needs to achieve it. Okay. So, let us ponder our situation. Maybe Cabrera bounces back. He is only 29. Maybe he's just off to a rough start this season. If he does, fantastic. If he doesn't, we're going to need to replace him. And I've got a fair few outfielders. I am not hurting for outfielders. And just in AAA alone, I see 4 that are all range from good to pretty good. So I think Benedict is the one to trade, because there's nothing to indicate his contact will ever get better. He does have really good speed, and he's a really, really good outfielder. But I don't think that's enough. I just don't think that's enough. He has an extreme pull on the ground, which is whatever. He's also kind of dumb at stealing bases. I mean, getting caught 17 times is kind of yikes. And the ultimate concern I'm having right now is that we don't have very much depth in the middle infield, especially Garcia. I say this every season. Every season I say Luis Garcia is overpaid. And I still believe that. I still genuinely think he's overpaid. And I know last season was fantastic. He had a truly exceptional season. I have no issues with performance last season. But he's earning $13 million a year. And that's an awful lot of money for a player who isn't one of the very best at his position. And then there's this ticking contract time bomb. And I don't even know where to begin with this one. I genuinely don't. So we're going to have to see what happens with them. In either case, I could use catching prospects. I could use infield prospects. I need more prospects, and I think trading Benedict is a good way to maybe get some. Because I don't think he's ever going to hit for enough contact to be a top-of-the-line player. I'm getting offers. They're not necessarily exciting offers, but I am getting them. Alright, so the best players are Ben Waddle and Gavin Cash. Gavin Cash is just Eric Benedict if he played first base. Ben Waddle's pretty good. He maybe needs a bit of seasoning in AAA, but he's pretty good. Who are the 50s? Oh, I missed Victor Juarez. Oh, I remember you. You're the guy that they were trying to get rid of when I was trading the other dude. Chris Bramblett. So you're giving me a lot of players who can't hit for contact. And that's not great for me. I think we might keep him. I'm going to officially put him on the block, though. And I'm going to see if we can get some offers for him throughout the season. I'm going to regret this, I'm sure. But I'm going to try to set the team needs again. Okay, so I want all position. Any hitter, sure. Maximum age 20. Minor leaguers. I want good potential. And I'm gonna pick speedster leadoff. Let's get picky. I'm just gonna delete that. So here we go. Maybe we'll get some people coming to me with some offers. That would be good. God damn it, Bobby Witt. Noah Syndergaard would like to come back. I think I want him back, but I also don't know that I can afford him. Like, he doesn't want a lot of money. But I'm also kind of at the point where, you know what? I'm not going to commit to keeping him or not keeping him yet. Let's see how the season proceeds. All right, Mr. Vanderploeg. How is Mr. Vasquez handling himself in center field? Let's look. He's hitting 271. He's drawing fair number of walks, and he's hitting for an okay amount of power. Is Mr. Vanderploeg a much better defender? Oh, he really is. He really is. All right, bro. I'm going to have you. I'm going to get a scouting report, and I'm going to send you to the minors to practice a bit. Yeah, I'm deeply concerned about Daniel Cabrera. And really, the offense as a whole, except for, oddly enough, Ryan Mountcastle, who appears to be bouncing back quite nicely from his disaster of a season last year. But Daniel Cabrera is just not hitting. Like, at all. And this is a man who's never failed to hit 300 plus in the majors, and his average has dropped by 100 points. I mean, I bet if I check his BABIP, it's going to look really bad, and that's probably what's happening here. Yeah, he's just having really bad luck, so I'm not going to discount him at all. What about Adley Rushman? Still drawing walks, still hitting for decent power. What does your BABIP look like? Yeah, this is well below your career low. So I'm reasonably sure these two guys are going to sort it out. Luis, I think just as a whole, my team needs to be hitting a bit better. Hitting coach, you need to sort out your shit. I'm just saying. Your job is to make my hitters hit good, and they're not hitting good. And that displeases me. It deeply displeases me. I'm feeling particularly generous. Let's hand out some extensions to the minor league coaches. Team trainer, we could probably do a bit better. I mean, I have to make sure that I get re-signed, obviously. I mean, I've won 2 World Series for the Orioles, so hopefully they will value my skill. He's actually dropped a bit in his... What has he lost? Oh, his batting eye is even worse now. His power's the same. His contact's actually gone up. His batting eye is always going to be the issue, though. Yep, that's what kind of cratered his ability a bit. I am not in a rush to send him to the majors, if I'm honest with you. I kind of want him to get some experience. And, you know, Vasquez isn't doing badly. So I don't really feel that there's a need to rush. Jack Leiter, leading the league in strikeouts, wins, ERA, and WAR, as is his due. Manuel Clace is improving a bit. Bobby Witt's getting a tiny bit better. Mountcastle's getting better. I didn't see that coming. Gould is learning his craft. I approve of that. Zachariah Bernotti is putting extra heat on his fastball. That's always a good choice. But I guess you don't choose that, do you? Nice. Oh, it's Mike Clark. I don't give a shit then. Jack Leiter. 10 wins already this season. My God. I'm kind of bummed. After we finish with this this series and I move on to a new one, will I ever get a player as good as Jack Leiter? I don't think I can. He's so good. Let's go to the draft. Draft time is always a good time. Players got promoted. That sounds okay. Right. And I haven't really been scouting for the draft, and I acknowledge that. But honestly, as long as I keep drafting in the lower third, scouting's not going to be as helpful to us. But it's like, does anyone genuinely think that any of these, like, is Ethan Gabriel going to be there by the time I pick? Of course he's not. I also don't know that I'd want him, but that's not the question at hand. The question is who will be available when it's actually time for me to pick. Well, this is apparently not a great batting draft, so yikes. Okay. Ernesto Ramirez. Like, you always need better bullpen guys, right? Like, that need never goes away. He can have amazing stuff. And he's a ground ball pitcher. That's kind of tempting, actually. You're all about projection for me. Like, you've got 5 pitches. of which 4 have the potential to be anywhere between okay and slightly plus. But you're a ground ball pitcher that throws real hard, and you've got pretty decent movement. This pitcher right now has maybe a major league career waiting for him. It's not probably going to be a very distinguished one, but it's going to be there. So what we have to do is we have to think about this player and think to ourselves, what a wonderful world. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist myself there. What we have to think to ourselves is ask, is this it? If this is all we get, this is... See, OSA is a little bit more sanguine about him. OSA thinks he actually could be even a little bit better than that. Our scout is less convinced, and I do trust my scout. But can I afford to be that picky about my pitching prospects? Like, he meets the minimum requirements. And as long as we develop him correctly, he could be pretty good. And I kind of think we take him. I think he's exactly the kind of risk we should be taking. He's got a relatively medium floor, and that even if he develops the absolute worst, I think he'll still be useful. But all it's going to take is some unusual control development. And I know we've only got one season of college to base this on. I recognize that. But he didn't walk all that many people. His stats tell a story of a pitcher who's actually pretty solid up and down the line. So I'm going to take Draven Post. I'm going to meet your demand. Also saves me cash, which is not nothing. Okay. Ernesto Ramirez falling to the second round, I will take him. And I'll do it with a smile. I'm going to offer you your demand. Alright. Now, the best hitter is Jared Van Natter. He's got an okay offensive skill set. He's super raw. Yeah, he's merely pretty good. And maybe that's enough. Jim Addington is, holy shit, can he play everywhere? Like, he can't hit for beans, but I always appreciate a player that just plays everywhere. But I think we'll go ahead and take Van Natter. He's interesting enough that I think he's worth it. I'm going to draft him. I'm not taking this player. I know he's 18. And so he could always develop. I understand that. And if he had a third pitch, I'd consider converting him to a starter. I mean, he was an outstanding pitcher in high school. I think actually we'll consider drafting him. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Please show me all of your shortstops. Or actually, it's all infielders. Here we go. They're all terrible. I guess I kind of expected that. At least Pat Went can play the position. He plays a lot of positions. Let's draft Pat Went. And auto draft. Alright. All players. Who has the best pitching movement? Henry Pepin, who can't throw a strike to save his life. Jamal Coward is an interesting choice. I'm basically betting that he'll someday develop control, which I think is very possible. I don't think that's an unfair thing to ask for. Elijah Grayson is a big kid. Like, he's really, really big. It would be highly unusual for him not to pick up a couple of ticks on his fastball. He's got 3 pitches, which none of them are great. But he's got natural movement, and that's hard to teach. I'm going to take him as a project. That is not the player I said, game. I said Elijah Grayson. Alright. Scouting director. Who is the best shortstop in this draft? You want Mike Everman, you get Mike Everman. That's just how I am. Who is the best infielder remaining in this draft? It's Bobby Slider Montalvo. Sure. I kind of like this. I kind of like being able to say who's the best player at a certain position, and then they tell me. Who's the best catcher left in this draft? It's Nate Newton. I mean, Nate Newton is kind of an okay hitter. Maybe. Someday. But I mean, we're in the 10th round, my dudes. It's not going to matter a huge amount. Let's just go ahead and complete the draft. I trust my scout to help me fill out the backgrounds of the draft. And let's talk to the draftees. You want 610,000. I think that's fine. And yes, please. Mr. Post, I will take control of your and Mr. Ramirez's careers as soon as you sign. That's not even an issue up for debate. Now, the other thing we were monitoring this season is Andy Neal. Would you please develop some control? Why is this part of your game so hard for you to develop? I love that you're improving your movement. I do. Work on your control. Please. Give me 40. 40 control. And I will call you up to the major leagues. Because the rest of your game is perfect. But you're just going to walk so many people in the big leagues if you don't figure this out. So close. I need one number to move up by 5 bloody points. I need progress. Like, let's be honest. Andy Neal's going to be on this team next year. I don't think there's any scenario where he's not. Unless he's injured, of course. Which I hope doesn't happen, but, you know. Definitely possible. Manny Mendez, let's promote you to high A. I need you to actually try to test yourself a bit and see if you can fill out this skill set. Thank you kindly. Ooh, Kieran Dongo must have had a good scouting report. Yeah, they're thinking he might be a better contact hitter. That's good. Let's simulate another couple of days. Mr. Vanderpeerg. Is Vasquez... Fuck. You're making this decision easy and not in the good way. He's so fast. He's such an athletic center fielder. And his raw hit tool looks like it could be pretty good. Like, Vasquez is providing value, but the value he's providing isn't the most he could provide, if that makes sense. And he's never had a stint in AAA, so I think I will go ahead and let Vasquez play in AAA. I'm going to promote Vanderplug. Not just so I can say his name, but that is pretty fun. And then I'm just going to slide him into center field. No hesitation. I mean, I could misclick because my mouse gets caught on the mouse pad. Thanks, jerk. I don't know why I call my mouse pad a jerk, but to be frank, it deserved it. There we go. That looks good. Alright, we're a couple months into the season. Ooh, excellent. I shall control your development. I shall shortlist you. And as a 70, I think the best place to put you is actually short season ball. I'm not gonna let you start in rookie ball because you're a little bit too advanced for that. A bit of a bounce back on the top of the order. Adley Rushman is not bouncing back, which makes me sad. Alright, let's go ahead and move up Mountcastle and Corona. Let's push Rushman down the lineup a bit and let him just relax a bit more, maybe? Like, I don't know that's actually going to make a difference, but I don't know that it's not going to make a difference. And all of his secondary attributes are there. He's just not making enough contact. And he's on pace to be an above-average catcher. It seems like his strikeouts have really gone up. I think that's his biggest issue. He's really just striking out a bit too frequently. Austin Hendrick is really giving me a tricky decision to make, and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Because you're only going to want more money. And the thing is, if you're really productive for 3 seasons, I kind of have to start taking you seriously. And I can't have you kind of like on your way out. Judson Fabian is performing well. Maybe better. He could be better. But I'm fine with what I'm getting from him. Oh, you could be possible arbitration too. Oh no. How much money do I have in arbitration? I have none. Because my players are demanding a ton in... Yeah, I've got 3 players right now, all of whom want pretty big arbitration awards. And even if I opt out of Mills and Mountcastle, and I don't know that I'd opt out of and Bobby Witt. Is he hitting? He's kind of hitting. Yeah. I've got 4 young players, all of whom want more money, and I cannot give all of them more money. That is just not a thing that I can do. Yikes. So we're kind of at a weird place right now. Weird thing number 1. We're playing really well this season. And there's every expectation that we'll probably make the playoffs again. I think that's a reasonable expectation right now. But I cannot afford to keep this roster together if all these players keep demanding these huge arbitration awards. I can't do it. My owner won't let me do it because the market is too small. Now, if we continue to play really, really well, it can actually change our market. And that sounds great. But if I'm doing things like cutting the scouting budget, which is maybe not the worst idea, to free up a little bit of cash. I'm not cutting the development budget. It's too important to us. Yeah, we're just at this weird stage where I don't know what the solution to our problem is. Alright, so let's look at these top players and decide who could we replace if we had to. What happened to Calvert Clark? Tell me he's injured, please. Okay, he is injured. Alright. I'm actually a little bit better then. Looks like he'll be back in a couple of days. So that's not a big... Oh, dear. You've kind of cratered in your development. Yikes. Alright. So we have 3 starting players, and we have 1 pitcher. All of whom are wanting more money. And I don't have quite the depth of the outfield that I used to have. That is unfortunate. Like, I've got good players, but I don't have great players. It looks like some of these players are having a bit of a setback in their development. Which it is what it is. I can't do anything about that. Right? I can't. Herrera's also not far from getting called up to the majors. Especially since he's a left-handed pitcher. Maybe that's a short-term solution. But here's our problem. Here is the fundamental problem, is that I cannot afford to pay all 4 of those players. And so the logical thing to do is to trade them while I still can. And then the question then becomes, okay, who do I trade? Now, right off the bat, I would like to make a deal with you, Hendricks. If I get you to sign for $4.4 million, how does that affect my extension? No, you won't even talk about it. Okay. Third base. I have really nothing. And Bobby Witt now thinks he's worth a bunch more money than he actually is, which is, you know, fair, I guess. Yeah, I think it comes down to trading Fabian or Hendrick. And there's such similar players. I even got them at the same time, if you remember right. Because you remember there was that season where I was just absolutely insistent that I needed improvements in the outfield. And so I traded Grayson Rodriguez and picked up 3 outfielders. But yeah, we have to make this choice. I have to decide, of these 2 players, which would I most rather keep? And here's what makes it so hard. Austin Hendrick is in the middle of a career year. And on the surface, he has been every bit as productive as he has promised to be. But Judson Fabian's tools make him look like the better player long term. Now, I could play games with his service time. I could demote Fabian just for the purpose of keeping him from being a Super 2 this season. But I don't want to do that. I'm just not that kind of GM. Bobby Witt, I mean, he's good. And he's finally showing, like, a tiny slice of his potential. But also he's not, because he's been pretty disappointing in the majors. So maybe this is my first step. Maybe the first step to accepting the situation is getting rid of Bobby Witt. I don't want to. I really don't want to. Especially when Delgado is not great. But maybe that is my partial solution. Maybe it's accepting that Bobby Witt Jr. is just never going to be the elite player we hoped he would. And moving on. He just wants too much money. At the end of the day, he wants too much money. And as weird as this sounds, he's not so great a hitter that I can't replace him. And I kind of like the idea of Delgado's amazing glove work at third base. And he's actually hit for average in the minors. I mean, 2027's brief trip to Double-A for Baltimore, he's hit well in the minors. What is the market like for Mr. Witt? I'm getting a lot of offers. So maybe I just need to accept that this is the path. I mean, no one's great, though, is the thing. Raul Pineda's pretty good. Ooh, not with that movement, he's not. Gene Swinford is a baseball player. The movement is disconcerting, but he's got 3 fantastic pitches. Swinford might be enough to get me to move Bobby Witt. Ethan Wood. Wood is also kind of tempting. Wood maybe has a higher floor but a lower ceiling than Swinford. Brendan Pacheco, also very tempting. Very much a work in progress still, but he's got a lot of potential. I agree that you're an amazing talent, Joe Napier, and I equally agree that I don't want you right now. But that's pretty tempting, to be honest. Mike Reynolds, very nice. Steve Stadler, what a stad. You're a little bit too rough for me to consider, because if this changeup doesn't develop, I don't see you surviving long in the minors. Okay. So there's actually a lot of really good options here. Well, how good is Pete Tilford? He's okay. Pacheco's 25. And if I look at his past performance, apart from his first year in A-ball, he's been pretty consistent. He's another guy who needs to work on his control. But here's what keeps bringing me back to Swinford. It's these pitches. He has 3 elite level pitches and possibly a 4th. He might be the rare exception who will strike out enough hitters that even a tendency to give home runs might not be the end of the world. And this is not free, right? I'm giving some... Oh, he is fragile. That is a little bit less concerning. Or a little bit more concerning, rather. Swinford is raw. But he's a really, really elite talent. I mean, the fact that he has 3 pitches that are that amazing, and there's a 4th pitch in there that he's working on that could be even better. And OSA thinks he's going to be over the freaking moon. So here's what this comes down to. Is he going to strike out enough batters to make up for the homers he's going to give up? Because he's going to give up home runs. He doesn't have great movement. And that's typically how that works. I'm so tempted to find out. You have so much raw talent that it would be a shame to not give you a place to perform. But then there's Wood. And Wood is way less exciting. Way less exciting. But he's got a longer minor league track record. He's much better keeping the ball in the park. And he still has 3 very good pitches. So the question is, do we take the pitcher who's more likely to succeed in our ballpark, or do we take the pitcher who could be transcendent with a bit of luck? And I don't know. I really don't know. This is a hard decision. Either of you would be wonderful. I don't think I'm going to take Pacheco, because I think he's too raw. And he's only got 3 good pitches, potential. Well, 4 good pitches, potentially. And he's been all over the place in the minors. Well, not really, actually. He's actually been consistently pretty decent. Swinford and Wood are the same age, which makes this even harder. Now, there's one other thing to consider. If I take the North Stars or the Phillies, right? No. Who were the North Stars? The Royals. Okay. I am kind of tempted to trade him to the Dodgers because I won't face him again for a while. Huh. Now, I could also try to get greedy and grab 2 prospects. And Tommy Green is an underrated little player. Swinford, I want to love you. There's so much about you that is exciting. You're a big dude. You've got loads of stuff. You've got 3 elite pitches right now and a possibility of a 4th. But you are injury prone. And you do have low movement. And those are both not great. Those are both things that cause me to pause. And your minor league tracker tells me you're going to give up long balls in the majors. So I think it's Ethan Wood. I think he's my target. What if I make him not untouchable? Does that change your opinion? You want me to ask for more? I will happily ask for more. I just don't think we're likely to get it. But we can try. What about Julia De La Rosa? Let's start with this. What do you say? You think I'm ridiculous. And okay, maybe I am. Victor Navarro is another outfielder who can't hit for contact. I don't think I could take him. How about Victor Gonzalez? That fills another need. This also gets me a catching prospect, and those are always pretty good to have. And how about Oscar Miranda? No, he wants a bit more if I ask for Miranda, and I guess that's fair. He is an outstanding shortstop. What about this Finnish dude? He needs to think about it. What is your issue, dude? You do favor rookies over veterans, which is good. You tend to favor OBP, which is fun. I'm going to make this offer, and I'm going to see if they take it. Because if they do, I think that's a good enough package for Bobby Witt. Pat Went, I don't remember caring too much about you. You'll figure it out. I will come back to this in a second. I'm going to take this deal. Complete trade. I'm sorry you're sad. I'm sorry you're sad about that, fans, but you're just going to have to live with it. Ethan Wood, I will put you on the 40-man, and I'm going to send you to AAA. For the simple fact that I'd like you to work on your... I'd like you to just get some innings in at AAA. I don't have an obvious... I mean, I could get rid of Max Meyer. I mean, is it time to accept that Max Meyer is never going to be that great? Maybe it is, and maybe it's not. Let's put Wood in AAA for now, and then we can think about what to do with him later. The next step is we're going to... Are you shitting me, Delgado? You've got the flu. I'm about to give you the promotion you've been waiting for your whole life, and you get the flu. I don't want Dotson. I'm going to call him up anyway. And look, if it just means that Ricky Perez is going to be starting a third base for a bit, then that's fine with me. But I do think Delgado is the better player. Just because of his elite level defense. Okay, that's sorted. Now, Chicago, you want me to give you Franklin Herrera? And let's be realistic. He's got potential, but that control's deeply problematic. And you're going to give me Danny Moreno, who could be an elite hitter. And he's super young and is the number 8 overall prospect in the majors. I think you do it. I think you do it. I think I don't hesitate, and I agree to that trade. And then I instantly, Mr. Moreno, I'm putting you under disable. You are 17, so I do want you in the rookie league, but you could be special. I will go ahead and scout you again. But OSA thinks you're going to be a megastar. I have no idea why Chicago made this trade unless they're that desperate for pitching. But this could be the kind of trade that is just ridiculous. All right. Now how much do I have for extension? I have about $2 million. Okay. Fabian is asking for a third of Hendrick's salary. Now, of the remaining arbitration people, I think Hendricks is the next one I'd want to keep. But the thing is, none of these guys are taking long-term deals. None of them. But if I can get you to sign a 1-year contract for a bit less money, I can then use those savings to make other offers. $5 million even. You'll take that. Beautiful. And then let's advance a couple of days. I can live with that. He's only out for a couple of days. Mr. Van Natter. The reason I'm doing a day at a time is because I'm trying to wait for Hendricks to sign a new one-year deal so that I can start thinking about alright, fine, we'll do it as 1 week instead of this pussyfooting around. There we go, Draven Post. Please go on the short list, and I'm going to control your development. And Mr. Post, you are 21 years of age. There is no reason you can't handle short season ball. There just isn't. I'm not going to put you in the rookie league. You're taking your sweet-ass time to decide on this contract, this one-year contract, Brandon. I need you to make a decision so that I can then try to lock up other players. Okay, good. How much do I have for extensions now? I now have 1.5 million, which is fine. If I can lock up Fabian, I think that would be very wise. Alright, let's do this. 5 years. I'm going to offer you a couple $100,000 each additional year. I need to buy you now when you're at your lowest ebb. I'll even give you $3 million that year, and then I'll give you $3,500,000. I want to make this. If you any year you win MVP, I give you $1 million. Did I just say 10 million? I'm gonna giving him $10 million. I'll give you 500 grand for every All-Star appearance. Yeah, how does that sound? Not even close. That's fine. I'll also have a bit more for extensions if I sign him, but Mr. Hendrick. Mr. Hendrick. You want a lot of money. You want to get basically paid like a megastar. And you've been extremely good these past 3 years. And this year you're just redonkulous. Which is frankly absurd. What do the fans think of you? The fans really like you. They like Fabian less so. This would probably also energize the audience, or energize the fans, if I kept you. Your minor league track record was pretty consistent. You were a pretty good hitter at every stop. But if I give you the big money contract you desperately crave, does that cost me Adley Rushman? If I can shave off some of this money, and get a second team option year, would you take this offer? No. I think he was willing to give me a break, and then I kind of convinced him not to. How does this deal work for you? No. Fuck. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something else for you. I'm going to give you a player opt-out. That's what I'm going to do for you. To make this a more palatable contract. Alright. Do I want to make this deal? So let's think about we also have to think about the possible costs and the possible downsides. This could cost me Adley Rushman. I don't think it will, but it could. The thing is, I don't know how much Adley Rushman's going to want. If he wants like $40 million a year, he's gone. And there's no amount of nickeling and diming that makes him affordable. That's just how it is. If he wants to get paid like $30, $40 million a year, he's just gone. And I have to come to grips with that as soon as I can. If he wants $20 million, that becomes more palatable for me, but it also becomes a trickier affording thing. Here's what this deal gives me right now, though. It ends arbitration. Because he just wanted like $20 million in arbitration at one. He wanted like $15 million in arbitration. I'm never going to pay him that. So this gives me 3 years of cost savings. And then it gives him the opt-out. Which means one of two things will happen. He'll either be so bad that he won't opt out, or he'll be so good that he will opt out, and I'll be glad that he did. And even if he doesn't, I think I can make this work. So I'm going to go ahead and offer him this contract. I think that was the right decision. You son of a bitch, Hendrick. This is what I was afraid of. This is exactly what I was afraid of. He's pushing me. You're testing me, Hendrick. I don't like that. I cannot give you the deal you want next year. It cannot happen. That's why I'm giving you this opt-out after 3 years. That's the entire point. Is so that I buy you for less than... I get you extended for less than your market value. And then when I'm ready to let you test the market, I can decide from there. Yeah, he's really insisting on getting paid next year, and that's just not going to happen. I'll go to arbitration with you. I'm not giving you $12 million a year. I'm not. I can't afford it, and even if I could, I'm not doing it. I don't care if you hit 70 home runs and win MVP this year. I'm not giving you $12 million. Just stop. Stop deluding yourself. I'd rather honestly negotiate with Judson Fabian and get him in like $4 or $5 million a year than even consider giving you $15 million at any point. Right. Here's what I'm offering you, my dude. Yeah, done. Yeah, Hendrick's got a giant head right now. And I'm going to let him cool down, and maybe I'll talk to him in the offseason. There we go. The fans are pretty happy about that. I'm pretty happy about it, too. Oh, damn. Nice. Yeah, I'm very happy with this contract. He's got all the tools. He did play pretty well in the minors. He's having an okay season. And I think he is more than worthy of being a Baltimore Oriole for a few years. And I'm pretty much protected against anything bad happening. But yeah, Austin Hendrick, if you think I'm giving you $12 million a year, you're beyond delusional. We can talk at the end of the season, and maybe I'll give you an arbitration amount that you consider to be worthwhile. But I am not giving you $12 million a year. I'm just not doing it. It's not happening. And the sooner you accept that, my friend, the better off we'll all be. And I'm tired of getting burnt on believing in outfielders that then stop hitting. Okay, player development. Kevin McMahon's improving. Some nice improvements here. You love to see it. Isaiah Price making something of himself. I always approve of that. You know the name I didn't see that? I didn't see Andy freaking Neal. Yeah, I'll find a new team trainer if I have to. That's fine. I have the number 4 prospect in the minors, thanks to Andy Neal. What a guy. Andy. Why is your control not getting any better? Why is this an issue? Please get better. But he doesn't have advanced control. He has 35 control. Why can't you pitch better? I've also got Wood. Please don't quote me on that. I've also got him in the minor leagues as a possible future starting candidate. We could maybe get an international free agent. Hey, it's Jake Bowers. Going to Colorado was a very smart move for you. I wonder why I'm getting notification of this trade. Oh, Manny Valencia was on my draft list. Okay. Oh, I drafted you, and then I let you go. Yeah. That looks like I missed I dodged a bullet there. You know what? Victor Salinas looks pretty good. I'm going to be honest with you. He looks like a really good all-around player. I'm going to give you the max. I'm going to hand you 5 million big ones so that you'll sign with me. I know you want to come back, my dude. I just can't afford you. You would give me Aaron Sabato. Absolutely not, New York. What the fuck? Do you think I'm an idiot? No. I am not taking your wildly overpaid third baseman because you feel bad that you gave him a big contract. No. Denied. I know it's the last year of your contract, Noah, but you keep wanting like $5 million. I can't afford that. Not right now. Let's just remember the good times. Let's not worry about what happens at the end of the season. Jackson Fristow, I'm going to hunt you and shoot you for daring to have an ERA better than Jack Leiter. That is not acceptable, and it never has been. I demand that your next game you give up at least 27 runs. I think that would be highly appropriate and a thing that you should do. Oh, there goes Casey Schmidt. A bunch of fights. All-star rosters. Who made it? From Baltimore. Jack Leiter, obviously. Injured. What? No. No injuries. Okay, your back is sore. Your back is sore. Okay. Don't play me like that, game. I might literally shit a brick. No other pitchers. That's fine. Adley Rushman made the roster. I'm not sure how. When he's having not a great year, but whatever. There's Austin Hendrick. And that's it. Which is, that's reasonable. As long as, like, Bobby Witt Jr. didn't randomly make it, that would make me sad. That's fine. Who on the prospect, Neil? There's Andy Neal, Brendan Hirschbauer, Danny Lamelli, and Danny Moreno. I'm trying to lock down the league on Danny's, it seems. Is Moreno the ridiculous mega prospect that Chicago handed me for a song? It is. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with you, Chicago. I don't know why you would trade him, but I'm not going to question it. I guess the fans just really love Adley Rushman, and who can blame them? Do we do an all-star home run challenge? I think maybe we do. Absolutely not. I don't want your closer that costs $12 million a year. And you know what? You're reasonably intriguing catcher. I guess that's fair. You're not asking for much. I mean, obviously, if Hendrick walked, this would be a very bad trade. But this is giving me an elite defensive catcher who can actually hit, which is a nice combo. Let's talk, but I want you to eat some of his salary this season. That is my price for making this deal. You'd eat 50% of his value? So then this basically becomes, I'm giving you an outfielder for a catcher. Can I get you to throw someone else in? Not so much Carson Applegate. But good old Sam here. They have you eat lots of his salad. No, that doesn't move the needle. That's fine. You shouldn't be giving me a top level prospect for this. I'm just going to make this trade as is. This is a pretty good trade that actually helps me this year. That's actually a very good trade for us. Because now what it means is that in the offseason, I can opt out of Sean Murphy's contract and I can just let Gregorio Gonzalez play catcher. Play backup catcher. Go ahead and go to AAA. Felipe. Who is my worst bullpen guy this season? It's Vizcaíno and Cabarcas, but unfortunately Cabarcas is the only lefty I got. Wait, is what's-his-face a lefty? Is new guy a lefty? If that's the case, Cabarcas can kiss his ass goodbye. Manage roster. No. Waivers. There we go. You are a lefty. Cabarcas, it's been nice to have you, would be what I'd say if I meant it, which I don't. I'd like you to go away now, please. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to instantly make Felipe Vasquez my anti-lefty guy, but I'm also going to make him a middle reliever. And today's the home run challenge, right? Do any of my players make the home run challenge? Not as... Oh, no, I take that back. Let's do it. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do Austin Hendrick, and let's let him get an even bigger head. I think this will be a fun way to end the episode. Start. Start. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to change the camera angle. Oh, dang, look at him pull that one. Man, I love how my dead ball era home run challenge guys hitting like 500-foot bombs like they're going out of style, and I can't even manage 400 with Austin Hendrick. There you go, almost 500. You're almost like legendary 1871 slugger Lipman Pike. Oh, wow. There's also a bit of a hitch. I wonder if this is entirely my fault that I'm not making good contact. Maybe I am. But again, you'll notice I'm tending to hit the ball the opposite way. That's always been an issue for me in these baseball video games. I like how we're still generally in favor of gasoline. Yeah, I am not. I accidentally clicked the button twice and got 500 foot, so that was pretty good. This has not been a good round for us. Yeah, I'm just having... Because of this skip, as the ball reaches the plate, it's kind of hard for me to see the ball, which is not great. Oh, that's gone. That is probably also gone. Oh, there we go. I finally pulled it. Oof. Yes, I wasn't sure if that was going to stay fair or not. Oh, that was crushed. Oh, look at that one. Man. There we go. I think that counted as a homer. It did. We're into the last minute, my friends. Can we make it? Can we hit baseball good? These are actually all very good hits. Well, not all of them. That was pretty shit. Oh, there we go. Reaching back, cranking one out. Nice. Back to back. Can we get 20 homers? I wonder. Oh, yeah. That's numero... Dose? I can't remember now. No, 20. Yeah. 22. Dose is 12, that's right. That was quite a round, my friends. Quite a round. And then we have to go back, and then I just simulate the other round. Yeah, Eloy Jimenez, you were screwed. Got to handle Reese Hines. Okay. Wow, Yordan Alvarez. The man who hits like 60 homers every year. Couldn't even make it. Yikes. Alright, let's change the camera. It says it's supposed to be home run or home plate, but why is it not zooming in on the pitcher? I don't know. Oh, neat. What a start. I probably won't do any more home run challenges after this season. I just did this one because I promised you faithful Baltimore viewers that I'd do it at least once. And now you've actually gotten it twice in 1 week, so there you go. Or you will have gotten twice in 1 week, depending on if you've actually already seen Monday's episode, which I hope you have. I hope you enjoyed it. This granted, him winning this title is only going to inflate his head even more, and he's going to want. I want $100 billion a season. Then the Yankees will give it to him. Fucking Yankees. I actually missed that time. Yikes. Yeah, I'm having a hard time focusing on the tiny little white pixel that is the baseball. Yeah, OOTP, if you're gonna put this in the game, please give us a better camera angle. I think this particular camera angle is kind of yikes for a home run derby. I wonder why they couldn't call it the home run derby. I wonder why they call it the home run challenge. I don't know. I haven't actually seen the home run derby in years. You see, one of the things that always makes sure I'd watch along with a celebrity all-star softball game. So you have favorite parts of All-Star Weekend, and I just haven't had a TV. Not a TV. A cable. I have a TV. I have a very nice TV, but I don't have cable. And I got YouTube TV this season. Or this year, rather. And I like it so far. And then, of course, COVID happened. I don't get to watch baseball very much, but, you know. I can now. I just don't because the Indians aren't on. Sorry, the Cleveland baseball team, because they're actually changing their name. Which I'm actually fine with. That doesn't bother me one bit. I mean, the fact that the IRL Indians can't hit worth of beans this season bothers me greatly, but the name of the team, not so much. Yeah, I'm out of sync now. I think this is probably my last round. Depending on how my opponent does. Yeah, I can't even hit it over the fence anymore. Oh, that one maybe. There we go. So this is generally the way in most home run derbies, though. Typically the first round is always the most, and then... Yeah. Oh, damn. Alright, maybe I'm heating up a little bit. I mean, I can't possibly get to 20 again, can I? Nope. But hey, 17 is very respectable. See, that's bullshit. It reset my fucking... whatever. I don't even care now. That's not fair. Oh no, it did record it. Okay, good. Ooh, made it by 1. You know what, Reese? Well done. Tip of the cap. You're facing Jaron Shelby. I've never heard of either of these. That's a lie. That's a lie. I have heard of Reese Hines. I haven't heard of Jaron Shelby, though. Jaron Shelby was the winner. Congratulations, Jaron. Well done. Pat on the back. And then let us simulate up to the All-Star game. And I think we go ahead and end this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and that you continue to enjoy the adventures of the Baltimore Orioles. We're in a pretty good spot this season. We've got a nice 6.5 game lead over Tampa. That certainly isn't a guarantee. And Houston's really scary this year. So even if we make the playoffs, I can't guarantee that we'll win the World Series for the 3rd time, but I think we'll have a pretty good shot at it. Jack Leiter continues to be Jack Leiter. No one else in baseball can say that. How do you keep getting better? Oh, he is actually getting a tiny bit worse. God, what a loser. I'm kidding. Yeah, it looks like he's not pitching as many innings. And that's kind of holding his WAR down a tiny bit. But I mean, he's still going to strike out more than 300 batters, which is pretty crazy. Do you have any of my hitters, are any of them approaching milestones, I wonder? It's under history. Oh, excuse me. Freddie Freeman, 3,000 hitter, is not a thing I've expected to be saying, but I guess that's the case. No one from Baltimore is anywhere near 1,500 hits, so that's kind of sad. 3,000 hits for Freddie Freeman. Honestly, like IRL, I don't see him getting 3,000 hits, but you know, good for him. Has he just had like an insane last few seasons? Yeah, he's been hitting a lot. Yeah, Freddie Freeman is making himself a pretty no doubt about it Hall of Fame career. But yeah, none of them are Orioles, which is sad. Anyone near the home runs? Bryce Harper's going to get to 600, as he should. I just love Aaron Judge playing for the Red Sox. It tickles my fancy. Even better, Lindor staying with Cleveland is even more exciting to me. Hey, Ryan Mountcastle could get to 250 homers this season. As could Adley Rushman. Nice. Milestone runs. Nothing too exciting there. RBIs are a garbage stat and they don't matter. Walks. Yep, what about pitchers, though? Not even Syndergaard is close to a milestone. I kind of figured he might be. How close is Jack Leiter to 2,000 strikeouts? I'm just curious. He could have 2,000 strikeouts by the time he turns fucking 30. That's wow. Like, you kind of appreciate his career, but you don't really appreciate it until you think of that. And look at this, 33 WAR. He's only pitched in 6 seasons, my friends. Only 6. Which means he could be one of the greatest pitchers of all time. It is actually within his grasp. That's scary for everyone but me. Well, I mean, I don't like signing his paychecks, but that's kind of scary. How is good old Noah doing? Is he a Hall of Famer in this? I don't think he is. Which is kind of a shame, but it looks like he just couldn't stay healthy, which was his big problem. It's his big problem IRL, too, is that he couldn't really stay healthy. It's a nice career, don't get me wrong. It's a very nice career. But this isn't Hall of Fame worthy. It's not even close. Maybe if you'd won like 7 World Series or something ridiculous, maybe you'd have a chance. But look, not every career has to end in the Hall of Fame for it to be a great career. And I think Noah Syndergaard has genuinely had a great career for us. I don't think there's too much disputing that. Adley Rushman is at almost 1,000 hits. He'll probably get there this season or maybe next. Almost 250 homers. Already 34 WAR. He is a catcher. It's important to always keep position in mind when you're thinking about how good a player actually is. Who else has been on the team for a while? Mountcastle. He has kind of stealthily turned into a really solid player for us. And I never expected it when we first called him up. But he's just been so consistent with his power. And he hits for generally a pretty decent average. Last season was a blip. Luis Garcia's had himself a pretty nice career. It's maybe not, the perfect career. But it's a pretty good career. And he's done okay, right? He's done okay. Daniel Cabrera, my dude, I don't know what's going on with you this season. This is not what I want from you. I want lots more hits. And I think you should start doing that right now. I think part of his issue, I think we're getting to the point where pitchers are just not pitching to him anymore. Like, his walk rate is still phenomenal. If we go to his expanded batting stats, he's walking in 15% of plate appearances, which is just silly. He is striking out a bit more this season than he ever has before. But I think it just comes down to luck. When he's putting the ball in play, he's not getting nearly as many hits out of it. Which is, no one's perfect. Not even Daniel Cabrera. And it's worth remembering. He was an absolute steal. He is already well on his way to 1,000 hits and 200 homers. Let's savor this moment again, shall we? Look at that. Bruce Zimmerman turns into Daniel Cabrera. Like, I'm glad that Bruce Zimmerman has given them some value, but I'm pretty sure that Tampa really wants this one back. But you know what? You're not going to get it, my dudes. You made a dumb choice, and you're going to pay for it. That's just life. This season has been pretty good to us. Our offense is as potent as ever. Jose Delgado has been okay. Remember that we're not looking for the greatest hitter that ever played Major League Baseball. We're just looking for a good defensive third baseman who doesn't embarrass himself with the bat. I think we've maybe got that. Lots of power up and down the lineup, except for Vanderberg. That should come around. I think he'll eventually start hitting for more power as he's given more opportunity. Rotation looks good. Rotation looks pretty doggone good. I'm interested to see what happens if we get to the playoffs. I guess I don't have to say if, but part of me feels like I have to. Andy Neal's starting to lose his potential. It's because you're not improving your control. Literally, 5 points, major leagues. That is my promise to you, Andy Neal. 5 points, major leagues. Although you're going to make the majors next season, I think. I don't think there's any way around that. Just for one very simple and important reason, which is that I'm not bringing back Noah Syndergaard. And I'm probably also not going to bring back Max Meyer. Just because he hasn't been that impressive. Like, for a guy with this much movement, he sure gives up a lot of homers. I think it must be he doesn't have enough of a change off of his changeup. And he doesn't strike out very many hitters either, which is deeply problematic. But yeah, he's just not a very good pitcher. So I think Meyer's probably gone too. And then we can call up, what's his name? Wood? Thomas Wood? Elijah Wood? Ethan Wood? I was going to get there eventually. But yeah, there's still talent in the minors. There's still reinforcements coming. And that's, I think, an important thing to keep in mind. Before we end this episode, let us quickly review our team and see who might be ready for promotions in the minors. Not you. Definitely not you. You're doing pretty good. You've been pretty good. I think you've earned a jump all the way to Double A, Mr. Thomas. I think you can skip High A. I think you've been that good this season. Post, I need you to just pitch right now. Lanson. You've been good. You've made important improvements to your game. You strike out more. Allowed fewer hits. Your home run rate remains minuscule. Promotion to High A it is. Danny Lamelli, you have never hit once in your minor league career. I'm going to trade you. I know that sounds weird, but I think I'm going to trade him. I'm at the point where he's still got the prospect sheen on him, but I don't think he's ever going to make the majors. I'm going to call it right now. And I wish I didn't say it. I wish I didn't feel it, and I wish it wasn't correct. He's never making the major leagues. Which is a shame. Because I think he's got some interesting talent. And he's a pretty okay shortstop. But he's a hitter that relies on power and discipline who doesn't draw enough walks or hit enough homers. I'm going to trade him. And I'm going to see what kind of offers I get for him. Someone else can buy into his nonsense, and maybe they'll be rewarded for it, but I suspect they won't. I'm never taking him back. Please stop offering him. Nope. You're a very, very good relief pitcher. You're very, very good. That's a distinct possibility. I would like a hitter if I can get one. But I'm getting a lot of good pitching offers, is the thing. Benoist. Maybe. Volvo. He's too reliant on one pitch. I don't think he'd make a good starter. Mirans, maybe. A possibility. Victor Navarro. You're a pretty good hitter. I don't need you, but you're a pretty good hitter. There's my old pal Brendan Pacheco. But I think I can do better than that. Like, Joe Napier is again being offered to me. Joe Napier is a no-shit value as a player. I think I'm going to take him. Hang on, Mike Reynolds. Pretty good. Jose Espinosa with elite level power. It is an issue in the system. We don't have a lot of it in the minors. Good old Steve Stadler, been converted to a reliever. Where's my old pal Swinford? Is he no longer available? I'd like Swinford still, please. There's a ton of good choices here, and they're all better than Lomelli. I think I'm going to look at batters. Because if I can get a good position player, although, let's look starting pitcher. Let's narrow it down some, right? And see if there is treasure to be had. Volvo's really good movement and really good ground ball. You're probably 2 years away from the majors. And a lot's going to depend on if you can get the modicum of control that you need and if you can get a hold of your changeup. Like, until your first trip to AA last season, you were actually pitching okay. So Falvo does have a bit of sheen on him still. Will it? Will it be a good pitcher? Maybe. Now, you're an intriguing sort because of your potential to have 4 top-notch pitches. But your control's not great. But the rest of your game is really good. It's really, really good. And that's always what our concern is when evaluating pitchers. Is there a hole in their game? And if so, how likely is it that they'll fix it? If his control was 40 or higher, his potential control, I would not be having this conversation. I would have already clicked the trade button. And you know what? OSA likes him a lot more than our scout does. Let's sort through these other starters before making a decision. Pacheco, I know what your deal is. You're a very polished pitcher, and I'm just not sure polish is what I'm looking for right now. Alex Perez. Ooh. Mr. Perez. You're not very big, but you throw hard. Your control is, again, not ideal, but your stuff could be electric. And there's this slider here. Ooh. Perez might be at the front now of the line in terms of what we're looking for. Like, I know I kind of gushed about that relief pitcher, but he's also just a relief pitcher at the end of the day, and you can find those pretty easily. Looking for any of their 55s, and then I'll go back and look at some of these other 50s. Nope. Tempting, but no. I can't have 45 movement unless there's a long track record of you keeping it in the park. And there's not. So, Wilfredo Cano. I think I'm just going to take Willett. I think he is the best possible choice of the options being offered to me. Not Willett, Perez. Why did I say Willett? Or did I still want Willett? Where is Willett? Did Willett ever exist, or is he a figment of my imagination? No, Perez is who I meant. Yes, Perez. Give him to me. Oh, he's the Yankees, though. That's alright. I highly doubt Danny Lamelli makes the majors, and if he does make the majors, I doubt he's a threat to anyone. I'm just not afraid of him whatsoever. And where is my new guy? Where is he? Give him to me now. Perez, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put you in AA. And then I'm going to shortlist you so I don't forget about you. Default. Yeah, because you'll notice Perez went right from A-ball to AAA, and he really struggled. I think a 22-year-old pitching in AA is very reasonable. And we'll let him see how he does. Anything else we might want to do? No, Manny Mendez is still interesting enough that I'm not going to trade him. Manny Mendez is low-key, has potential for days. I'm kind of excited about his potential, especially because third base is not a position we have a lot of depth at. He's so good at every aspect of baseball that I have very high expectations for him if he can stay healthy, which is always the rub, I think. There's Danny Moreno and Andy Neal. He's having a good year. I just need him to throw strikes, please. Please. Right. I think that's enough for one episode. I hope you agree. Do join me for the next episode. We're going to go through the second half of the season and see if we can get our third World Series on. But don't worry. Even if we do win a third World Series, it's highly unlikely I'll meet my Hall of Fame requirement. And I kind of honestly, I'm kind of thinking, maybe, and you can share your thoughts in the comments down below. What if we just play the season for 20 seasons? What do we think about that, my friends? 20 seasons with the Baltimore Orioles. We're already almost halfway there. This is season 10 right now, I think. Let me check. No, this is season 9 because it started in 2019, didn't I? Yeah, that's true. Hey, there we go. 1903 was the first World Series. I was right. Nice. Okay, so I think that's actually would be kind of a fun thing to do, is just win, lose, or draw, just stick with one team, unless I get fired, obviously. But if you guys are getting kind of tired of seeing Baltimore, I totally get that too. So please, if you would, make your opinions known. I will take them under consideration, and I'll see you guys next time with the second half of the 2028 season. Until then, this has been Avindian. I thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.